What's going What's going on, guys? How you doing today? You rocking out with the one and only Philly Dom. We have a special guest on the live. I'm gonna give you guys some time to get on the lives. That was like a tongue twister. I'm gonna talk with my boy JFK.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed.
Back in business here. Nice to be on the channel again,
Yes, indeed.
sir.
Yes, indeed. Let them know where you coming from. Where you doing the live from? Where you at right now?
Oh, I'm here in Brazil, in
Aha.
Santos. Actually sitting in my office right now.
See that?
And Santos is just like this beautiful beach town in Brazil. And lived there for, what is it now? A little bit more than a year, and it's fantastic place to be. I really have to say, Santos just blew it out of the park for us, so it's awesome. Yeah, just awesome.
Wow.
So you did you get to go to Santos or the last time?
I went to Santos. I went to Santos. We went there for Pele. Pele's buried there in the mausoleum. Pele's buried there in the mausoleum. Yeah. Oh man, I know Brazil really well. Yeah, we went to the mausoleum where Pele's buried. The tallest, what is it? The tallest or the largest mausoleum in the whole world.
Yeah.
It's the tallest mausoleum in the whole world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Brazil. I know you love Brazil.
Yeah.
But Brazil, there are no limits.
Oh yeah, Brazil is a special place. Shout out to Alpha Male. We got Alpha Male in here. Shout out to Alpha Male in here. That's my buddy, man, for life. He in there. He's watching from he's in Mexico City. I know where he's at. He's in Mexico City right now.
Mexico City. Now we're talking.
Yeah,
last time I heard from Mexico City, it was a friend of mine that went there on a traveler's budget. I was like hiding in his tent or something.
Wow. Yeah. Alpha Mel said, I see your beautiful mom picture on the wall. Yeah, I put it in the video, man. I'll put her in the next couple videos. Yeah, man. She's in the background. That's her right there.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have to say, beautiful woman your mother was, huh?
Thank you.
Yeah. It's mothers are special.
Yeah.
My mother is still alive, kicking.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good thing.
She's rocking around in Norway, getting ready to go to her cabin in Spain or something.
Oh, okay.
She's good. She is good.
She's good.
All right. Yeah.
All right. That's all right.
Yeah. Oh, so I wanted to ask you something straight off the bat, Willie.
Ask me anything.
You seem to produce your books really fast, man. I mean, I'm writing the second book. And you're like, book number 3, man. Jesus. Yeah. I have to pick up a piece. Come on. Willie told me that, Philly is releasing his second book. I was like, what? Didn't he just release the first one? I was like, God.
Yeah. But I think the subject matters that I write about are pretty easy for me to write about, because the first book is about me working in Alaska in the seafood industry with the fishing boats and everything like that. That's cut dry. I basically that book was like a manual just to give them a feel on how to get the job up there, because we have people, I don't know how Norway is, but in the States we always have people, I can't find a job. It's so hard to get a job, a good paying job. So this is a good paying job. Obviously, it's a blue collar job. We call it blue collar work because you physically moving stuff and you're working with your hands. But it's a real good paying job, and you don't have to work the whole year. So that was easy to write, because I worked at like 16 hours a day for for 4 or 5 years straight. So I knew the job. I knew the inside and the outside of the job, and I worked there like 5, 3, 6 months at a time. So everything was already in my head. So it just, whatever was in my head, I just wrote on paper. It was pretty easy. I knew that job inside out because it's repetitious work. The second book was about my life. So it was just like, you write about your life is easy. You just write about what you think is important, what's not important, what's your struggles, what was your goals, what was your highlights of your life. And I put it in with my YouTube. Because that was a part of why I wrote the book, because I did YouTube. So it's pretty easy. But you do fiction books. So it takes a lot more imagination and develop it. it'll take a while to write. The books you write take a while to write.
Yeah, they do, because, well, I'm on the second one now. So, yeah, but it's, you have to kind of base the work on the first one if you're making a series and all of this stuff. So you have a lot of details to remember, But, yeah, it's probably a little bit different. But talking about when you were in the seafood industry, I can relate. I mean, in my early 20s, me and some buddies, and some girlfriends were living in this house by the ocean in Norway. That we just rented a huge house, huge garden just by the ocean. And it cost, this was in what? Yeah, I think 2000 and perhaps 2.
Okay.
Something like that, 2001, 2002, something like that.
Okay.
It was like nothing. We had a huge yard and just like parties all the time, all the time, crazy parties, just I would go to work and I come home and there would still be a poker game running, So it's like the good old days. Anyway, but back in those days, I had a interlude, you would say, intermezzo in my life. I got out of a relationship, right? And just lived a crazy life for a while.
Okay.
But when you live a crazy life, you need money also. So there was a friend of mine that he worked in a moving agency.
Okay.
That kind of thing. You just go up and then they go like, yeah, you go to this place and just carry some shit, basically.
Okay.
So the friend pick up me and another friend, I don't know, like 3 o'clock. Nah, not 3 o'clock. Like 6, like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
That's, and then we had some property carrying a piano or some crazy madness. And, the cars we were using had names like Ingeborg or Maria or, names and stuff. And they broke down all the time, right?
Okay.
So it was just like, in the end of the day, they will hand you like a leaflet with the money in cash inside the leaflet, really old school. Not to your bank account, like in cash. And then, of course, all of this shit evolved. And I think at some point, I actually worked at the docks in Oslo, Norway for 1 month.
Wow.
Carrying crates on my shoulders,
You already know, yeah.
Yeah, with some really buff dudes that have been working at the shipyard for, I don't know, like 30 years,
Yeah.
And they told me, well, if you keep at it, you might advance in 10 years. I was like, I'm just here like
I'm just here for the summer, guys. I'm just here for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Man, if I tried to do what I did then when I was young, that kind of physical, because what you do, you get like the money from the job.
Yeah.
And then after like that kind of physical labor, you were thirsty as fuck, right?
Yeah.
You go drinking. You go partying with your friends, and the next day it's like, only got money for cigarettes. I guess I have to go another day.
The whole vibe changed, because it's a rough job, and then they don't work you the whole year. They only work you for like a couple months at a time, but you can make a whole bunch of money really quick and really fast. Shout out to Will Fredo. Shout out Fredo. Yeah, Will. Shout out to Will, man. Thanks for watching. And you're rocking out with the one and only Philly Dom. I write books now. My friend JFK, he writes books. I met him in Brazil, man. Cool guy. Shout out to Will Brazil. I call your friend Will Brazil. Will Brazil as well. They in he's in Santos, which is in Sao Paulo. And I'm not saying it right because my Portuguese is horrible. Sao Paulo. Yeah, Sao Paulo, Brazil area. He's in that area, and he's a writer. He's a musician. And the day he came on the live today because he's releasing his second book, which is a sequel to the first book, right?
No, but pretty close. Actually, what I've done is that I'm in the process of writing book number 2. It's going to be. It's the name of the book is Alien AI. I'll get into
Alien
that.
AI. Alien AI.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll get into that. But
Yes.
what I've been doing lately is to produce from scratch on my own audiobook, the first book.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's going on, and that's what I'm going to be giving away today for free, by the way.
Okay.
So I don't see the chat here, Willie, who is in the chat or whatever. But
There's people in the chat. They watching. There's some people in the chat. Oh, matter of fact, they got some questions about Alpha Mel asks, tell us about Norway. What time is it there? What is the weather like? And are there black people there?
Yeah, that's all valid questions. So I'll get into it.
Yes.
So first of all, let's see. What's the time in Norway?
Because he's in Brazil right now, guys. He's in Brazil right now. Well, yeah. What's the time in Norway?
So the time in Norway right now, European time, would be something like 7:15, 17 past 7. So Norway's 5 hours ahead of Brazil.
Okay.
And the weather there right now, I think, is about 20 degrees. At least it was this morning. So I think something like that. Are there black people there? Yes,
that's what they
a lot
want
of them. A lot of them. Because from, I don't remember the exact year, but first immigrants came to Norway, I don't know, 1940s, 50s, something like that. I'm talking black people here now, perhaps even before that.
Okay.
So right now, we're going on third generation, or even more, generation of black people from actually all around the world in Norway.
Okay.
So Norway is actually now a completely different country than, for instance, when I grew up. And so you could say that Norway is slowly becoming like a mirrored image in a very small way of America, is my thesis. The sound disappeared there from Willie, so I can't, Philly, I can't hear him.
Let them know where it's located at.
Norway.
Yeah, because some people don't know. They don't know. I know. You know.
Okay.
Where's it
I'll
located?
make it easy for you. I'll make it easy for you. It's in Scandinavia. It's the border of Sweden.
Okay.
And it borders with Sweden. And well, if you take a short, I think it takes like short boat trip. You're in Denmark.
Oh, okay. Wow. So that's where it's located, guys. They said the sound is cool. Why did you leave Norway? They want to know why you left Norway.
The reason I left Norway is that I got lucky, guys. I met a beautiful, very, very intelligent Brazilian woman, and she is boss tax accountant, international accountant. And she was working in Norway at that point of time for a Norwegian company. Met her at the bar. No plan of hooking up with women that day, at least me. For me, I was trying to hook up my brother Tom Vespestad, fantastic drummer, Norwegian drummer. Shout out to him. Hook up him with some women. He showed up in the city. I've been at a party at that point of time the day before with a crazy Russian friend of mine, Ivan Galusin.
He's a crazy Russian friend of mine. Crazy Russian friend of mine, Oh, keep going.
So also, to speed up the story a little bit, met in the bar and then we got together. It kind of worked straight off the bat. And then we became a couple. And then a year later, this was in 2018.
Okay.
And then a year later, we decided to have a child.
Okay.
So we just went for it. And then our daughter was born in December 2019.
In Norway.
And then, in Norway.
Okay.
And then our plan in early spring 2020 was to move to Brazil.
Okay.
Because my now wife had an apartment in Brazil.
Okay.
And we talked about opportunities, and I really wanted to write books. I also wanted to do e-commerce. She wanted to do e-commerce. She wanted to build a family business beside, what should we say, regular work.
Okay.
So we had a plan, but of course then it was locked down suddenly, COVID, so we stayed another year, and then we moved to Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, I know that place.
Yeah, you know that place.
Yeah.
So lived there for a year solid plus, and then through a work offer from a Norwegian company, we got an offer to move here, and so we did. So now we live in Santos, and it's just. So there you go. So that's the short version of the story.
Yeah, the short version. And then Santos, guys, that's like the suburbs. I guess it would be the suburbs of Sao Paulo. It would be considered like the suburb. It's like an hour and a half, hour drive, hour and a half from Sao Paulo.
Yeah, it's a state in Sao Paulo, but the thing about Santos is that it's completely different from any other place I've been to in Brazil. Because
yes,
first of all, Santos is where let's say where the Brazilians, they go like, oh, you live in Santos. I want to retire there when I finish working. That's like what Santos is. Santos is organized. Santos is pretty safe. You can walk around in Santos, no problem. I do it all the time. I'm a white guy. I stand out, So Santos is like this, has one hell of an infrastructure, and I have to say, I just love it. I just love it here. It's great.
All right. Not to cut you off, they asking you some questions. They said, 20 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius, that sounds cold. And then the question is English the language in Norway? And do you speak Portuguese?
Eu falo português, amigos. Tudo bem?
Yeah, he speaks Portuguese fluently.
Yeah, or he's getting there. No, I speak Portuguese, and I understand it pretty well now. So much better than 2 years ago, to put it like so. But well, the other question was about Norway.
Is English the language of Norway, and does he speak Portuguese? So they're asking in Norway, they want to know the official language is English there. Or
no,
what's the Scandinavian language? What is it? Let them know. Yeah.
Got it. Cheers.
Yeah.
No. To begin somewhere, at some point, Norway and Denmark was one country.
Okay.
So the written language in Norway is 99.9% the same as Danish.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but the official language in Norway is Norwegian.
Norwegian is the official language, guys. So Norwegian is the official language of Norway. And I would figure, I got a couple friends from Denmark, which is not too far from where you're from, Norway. Yeah. And they told me that the majority of the population, the people that are under like 40 and under, most of them can speak a strong degree of English. A strong English speakers. But the older generation, 50, 60, 70, 80, they stick more to the traditional language of whatever Norwegian country they're from. That's what I was been told.
Yeah, that's not really correct either. Because well, first of all, in school, I know that my father learned English in school.
Okay.
That would be in the 1950s.
Uh-huh.
So, but you can get around. If you go to Norway and speak English, everyone will understand what you're saying.
Okay.
No problem at all. So yeah, and in school it's obligatory you learn English. I did, but of course, I have an English family as well on my mother's side.
Aha. Okay.
Yeah. So I grew up. I got a little bit extra.
It makes
So
sense.
yeah. So yeah. But Norway, English, American, no problem whatsoever.
Okay.
Just
And
bring money because it's very expensive these days.
Wow, you hear that? Norway.
Norway is very expensive these days.
Okay. Norway is very, very expensive these days. Wow. Hold on. I'm getting people texting me. You know how stuff going on. Somebody's asking, what is the main dish? They WhatsApp me this. What is the main dish? They really intrigued about Norway now. What is the staple dish in Norway?
Good question. Right now, straight off the bat, I'm not even sure myself. But I would say that probably one of the Christmas dishes or something like that, because it depends on, what person in Norway you would address this question. It's but there are some dishes.
Okay.
So I thought it's a hard question to answer. Like this is the dish, Okay. So, but forget about that. Forget about all of that. I'm talking to the person that asked. That's not what you're going to do in Norway. What you're going to do is you're going to find a French or Italian restaurant.
Yes.
Be good. Then you will eat some proper food, So that's what you're going to do. Or, of course, you can go, if you know some Norwegians, hook up with some Norwegians. Just hang out with them and they will, offer everything to you. Probably also some Norwegian spirits. So get in shape, some and some stuff like that. Oh, yeah.
That makes sense. They asked him, what is your favorite, Alpha Male asked, what is your favorite book that you have read? That you have written? You wrote 2 books now. You're saying what's one that you consider your favorite book out of the 2 books that you just
I would, of course, the second one is still in the works, but it's more or less there. I would say the second one is just insane because it goes straight into the main character, John Martin. By the way, the book is going to be called Alien AI.
Alien AI.
Oh, yeah. So then we're going straight into UFOs and all kinds of crazy shit, So it's really fun to write, and I'm really enjoying the ride. And I like the other day I wrote one sentence at in the end of a chapter.
Okay.
And I sent it to some friends, and the sentence read, "John Martin was in Area 51." Because fiction is but of course it's based on all the characters from the first book.
Okay.
So it's really cool, but I'm just taking it to a completely different level, I have to say. So I'm quite stoked about it myself. So yeah.
Wow, he said he even hyped about his book. That's good, because if you're not hyped about your book or stoked about your book, how other people are, so that means definitely you got a winner. You got a winner. You got a good book.
Yeah, exactly. No, I just want to write books that are not too serious, but entertaining. And if you read some of my books, you will find that, these clothes that the people are wearing, does that brand exist even? And you'll find that most of the time it actually does. And a lot of the background stuff is actually research.
Okay.
Some of it doesn't exist.
Okay.
But in book 2, then a lot of the information is researched by me pretty thoroughly, I would say. I mean, a month ago, I fell asleep to one of the books of Dr. Stephen Greer, the guy behind the Disclosure Project, if you guys are familiar with that.
Okay.
If you're going to write a fiction book that includes a powerful family that's being threatened by unknown alien forces, well, you have to do some research. So yeah, of course, I'm also paying attention to what's happening in the American Congress these days. It's interesting. So yeah, so it's kind of getting there. It's I'm just really pumped. I think it's really fun, and the pages are kind of writing themselves, and so it's great. So yeah, so it's cool.
Okay, I got some questions here for you. I always got some questions here. What inspired you to the storyline for the second book? What inspired you? That's what people want to know. What inspired you?
No, good question. What inspired me was that, well, the first book ends in a certain way. In the first book, I dabbled into anything from ancient Egyptology and magic, demons, all kinds of stuff that erupted within the confines of a story that almost is like in the realm of succession.
Okay.
I just took it like far away, and then I thought, okay, how in the world are we going to top all of this? But then I started thinking about it, and of course, I thought, well, the natural next step is let's have a look at all of this UFO stuff that's been going on, So, and then the title came to me like this, and then I thought, all right, alien AI exploding everywhere these days. I'm using it myself, so I thought it would be a good way to go.
Cool vibes. And then what we got? Stephen, greetings. He said greetings from St. Louis, Missouri. Somebody's watching you from St. Louis, Missouri. But thank you for breaking that down. That makes sense.
Yeah.
What? Because I write books now too, so I always have a lot of stuff to ask. What are the themes or lessons that you explore in doing this book? Do you have any themes or underlying lessons that people can learn from your fiction book? And what's the name of the book? Let them know the name of the book as well.
Yeah. Well, I'll just start with book number 1. It's called The Feeder.
Mm-hmm.
And the second book that I'm writing is called Alien AI. Now, it's basically about a family dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
The main character is called John Martin.
Okay.
He becomes the richest man in the world because he buys a lot of land in China and discovers the patent on cure to COVID.
Wow.
And that's called the Nexus.
Okay.
But from there on, it just takes off in an entire different direction. Mm-hmm. So let me answer the question. Well, the way I've done it, at least, is that I focused on bringing life to the main character, right?
Okay.
And then slowly adding family and characters into the story.
Okay.
Now, in the second book, when you guys listen to it in audiobook or whatever, you will see that, okay, so there are a lot of characters from the first book that appear in the second book. So what I've done basically in the first book is to make a foundation.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of different. Let's say if you're writing a bio or something like that, it works differently. But if you're going to make a book series, then the second book rests on the shoulders of the first book, and so on. So, and of course, the beauty of doing it this way is that when the concept and the timeline of the characters are established, well, let's say if I want to write a book in like 1810 about the ancestors of the family that I've established, I can do that. Go in the past and the future, I can basically do what I want. So that is for me, to the person that asked, at least if you want to write fiction, I think really good way to begin, to kind of think it a little bit through first,
Yeah.
just like get your feet on the main character and then slowly build it out, and then you can have fun with timelines and all kinds of things. So
Okay.
yeah.
With the second book, I was gonna say, what were the hurdles and the problems that you face writing the book? They got this thing they call writer's block. Did you get like writer's block or anything writing a second book, or you just, like you said before, from your first book to your second book, you advanced and your creativity advanced, so it was easier for you, or did you get writer's block, or what was the
No, I
what was
didn't.
the timeline on writing a book? Yeah.
Yeah, no, very good question. What I did was that, of course, I went straight into the concept of making an audiobook of the
Okay.
first book
Okay.
that I'm now a little bit later in this show going to give away to your viewers, by the way.
Wow, you hear that, guys?
I'm going to say it again. I'm going to give you guys a free audiobook that I narrated. Currently, it's available in Audible and other places as well. But it's there. But I got some free codes, guys. So I'm going to, for all of you that want it for free, I'll get to like how and when and the way to do it later. But you guys are getting a free audiobook. So that's that. If you want it, of course.
I'll take it.
But yeah. So for me, I shifted focus from, okay, I finished this book. Then I got a shout out to Willie Barker on getting help on advertising, everything that has to do with all of this. And then I went ahead and then I thought, okay, am I going to get someone to narrate my book, or what am I going to do here? So I decided, well, no, I think I can do it myself. Why not? And that took me about like 3 months from I began in March.
So 3 months to write the book.
No, 3 months to do the audiobook.
Oh, just the audiobook. So how much time did it take to write the book entirely?
Before here's the point, because while I was doing the audiobook, then of course I had to read aloud every chapter of the first book, because I released it in the December last year. And then I just left it for a couple of months. I thought, okay, let's just chill out, figure out what we're going to do here, and so on, so on. Okay. So I thought, okay, let's do the audiobook. So then I started from scratch, doing everything myself. But of course, at some point, I just recorded and recorded and recorded. Eventually, it came out really good. And but by that time, my mind, I've been working all the time. I've been like rereading everything I did, so all the characters were fresh in my head. And then I thought, okay, let's see if we have a plan.
Okay.
And I thought about it for a week, and then the title came and everything kind of fell into place. Then I wrote 3 different drafts about, like, I don't know, 10,000 words, 20,000 words here and there, just to see what happened. And I thought, all of this is pretty good, but it's not what I want. So I worked on it a little bit more, and then at some point it just became clear in my head. And then I thought, excuse me, let's go. So then I started writing it. So while doing something else, but still very much being completely inside the first book, all the details of everything I already written was there. And then I managed to kind of connect it to the way to go forward. So
make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I believe in that when you finish something, give yourself a little pause, a little time to breathe, so you actually know what you're doing. And when you do, focus and go. So right now I'm writing about 7 hours, 3 days a week. I'm also an entrepreneur. I also do e-commerce. So 2 weeks, 2 days a week, I do other stuff. But except for that, I'm writing. So, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Gangster Banks said he checking in. Steve said, okay, he's greetings from St. Louis, Missouri. Shout out to you. It's 71. Put up a like sign, and somebody asked me on WhatsApp to ask you that. I don't know why they just don't go in the chat, but maybe they at work or something. Maybe I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They said, were there any surprises or unexpected moments while you were writing your second book?
Oh yeah, a lot of them, because at some point you might have a plan and you might have a storyboard written down or not.
Okay.
But at some point, suddenly your mind just goes at the 2 a.m. in the morning. It goes like, and just opens up, and then it's like, okay, I can put the main character on the moon if I want to. There are no limits. So yes.
See, answered that question. And what? Because you're an older guy. You're not that old. Obviously, you're in your what is it? A middle-aged guy.
Yeah.
What inspires you?
I'm a tender age of 48.
Okay. He's young.
Yeah.
He's still young.
Young at heart.
He said young at heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're older. So what made you start writing books now? Why wasn't something that you had a passion for when you were younger? What made you at this tender age of 48 to say, you know what, or 47 or 46, sometime in your 40s, you start writing books because you got 2 books. You only have 2 books out. So what made you now? What sparked in your head? What a light bulb went off and said, you should write. I should start writing books.
No, good question. It wasn't like that at all, because I kind of been pursuing 3 careers at once.
Okay.
During my life, or 4 perhaps. So, but anyway, when I was 18, 19, 20, whatever, I was a singer. Still am. Okay. My music is on Spotify and all of this. I put down something like 20 plus years in music industry.
Okay. So you were like in a band. You were in a band. A band, or
if you go to Spotify, you will find solo records of me. A couple of those, with me on the grand piano singing. And
oh wow,
I can put links to that to you as well later. But at some point during my 20s, I thought, okay, music is great. It's fun. It's fun to play jazz, whatever. But I really want to get into this writing stuff again, that I actually really loved when I was younger. But when you're young, you want to have fun, right? So, whatever. So I started working on it. But I started working on writing a pretty outlandish book in Norwegian.
Okay.
Finished the book. And this was kind of, when was this? 10, 15 years ago, something like that. And then I sent it to all the publishers and everything, and they went like, well, this is great, but it's way too crazy. We can't write that. I'm like, why not? No one else is writing it. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, it's too much. It's too much of this. It's too much of this. It's also too much sex. It's too much of everything. You have to tone it down. And blah, blah, blah. So I said, sounds boring. So, but then again, they gave me some really good pointers on a lot of things, writing techniques. So, but at some point, I just decided that, for me, Norway is just like a small potato country, to be honest.
Okay. I hear you. You can do but so much there. You can do but so much there. So you wrote your first book in Norway. You wrote your first book there like 20 years ago, 15 years ago. But you said it's like a small country.
What did you say?
You wrote your first book there in Norway.
Yeah.
Are we breaking up, or you wrote your first book in Norway?
Just hold on. Let's wait a little bit. The connection is a little bit choppy.
Okay.
Is it good now?
It's good on my end. I can hear you clear.
It seems
a little choppy. It's a little choppy. I don't know if it's on my end. It might be on. I think it might be on
a little bit choppy. Probably because I'm in Brazil.
Okay. Yeah, I think
me
it's
too.
On your
but
end
it's Brazilian internet. It's rock and roll, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
It's on my end, but yeah.
no, it's saying
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I've been hearing you. I can hear you loud and
Yeah.
clear.
Okay. Now we're good. Okay. Now we're good. No. So anyway, so I decided that instead of fighting Norwegian publishers, I thought, okay, let's take their advice and just like home in and get better. So I did that. I did a lot of work, and at some point I thought, let's just switch to English. Why not?
Yeah.
And of course, then I really started doing the work.
Makes sense.
So before releasing the feeder, I think I put in something like 7 years of work before.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah, because English is my second language, right? So,
Yes.
but of course, I read a lot during my life also. But I had to really do the work, and discover, okay, what is my style? What do I want? How do I want the language to read? Do I want it to read like this or this? So I've read anything from, I don't know, Ernest Hemingway to you name it.
Yeah.
Right. But at some point, a beautiful moment, it just came to me, and I was like, there it is. That's the language I've been looking for. So, and then the writing. So it's been quite a journey. And of course, my wife has been super supportive in this. And she was like, just write it. So I was like, easy for you to say.
She said, just write it.
Yeah. But she had a point to do it. But I'll be back in about a minute. I just
no
have to
problem.
pee.
Take your time.
Cool.
Take your time. Yeah, no
I'll be back.
problem. I'll talk with you here. Okay, not a problem. So what's going on, guys? You're rocking out with the one and only Philly Dom. So I'm here with my friend. His name is JFK. He's a writer. He's wrote 2 books in English. He's from Norway. He lives in Brazil. I met him in Brazil a couple months back. When I was just first starting, I was just starting to write my first book. I had met him, so he gave me some pointers and some information on how to do it, as well as Master Wayne walked me through the process. So he's on his second book now, and I brought him on the channel just for him to talk about it. He's gonna give out some free books today, so you guys can get a free copy of the book, and then you can always go on Amazon and let them know what you thought of the book. But he's definitely gonna give. He got these free codes that he's gonna give some free copies of the book. So just stay tuned and listen what he has to say. Very interesting guy, man. Musician, writer. He's like a Renaissance man to me. He's like a Renaissance man. That's the type of vibe he comes off with. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Free spirited person. So I told him that you was like a Renaissance man. A little bit of this. You're a musician, a writer. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Mix it all together. And that's what you come up with, JFK.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like that is kind of what life is. At least if you're kind of ready to learn new things all the time, you kind of start out somewhere, and then suddenly you're like an entrepreneur, like 30 years later.
Okay.
But you have to be willing to do the work and evolve. A lot of people are happy just having a steady job and make a good amount of money. That's fine. But I mean, well, like you, if you want to be a YouTuber, write book, do a lot of different stuff, but perhaps have freedom to pursue other things as well. It all depends on what you want your life to be.
That's true. That's true indeed. We got 71 here. Somebody from the channel. He says, "Show does one start writing, especially if you do not consider yourself a writer?" He's basically saying, can anybody be a writer? Since they know you're a professional writer and you take this craft serious and you're good at that, they want to know if anybody. If a lot of people are hitting me up right now. Wow, they're leaving a lot of messages.
No problem. But I got
you got the gist of what he's saying. He's saying, so if he's not a writer, but he wants to write, what would you tell somebody to do? Because they're saying you're like an expert at it. You're actually a real writer. But he wants to write. What would you tell somebody to do? They say, somebody like me that write books, we just getting into it. We don't know. We're finding our way through it. We'll get better as we do more books, obviously.
Well, you have written more books than me already.
Yeah.
but I get the question. I'll give you a really solid answer on this, right? Anyone can be a writer.
Okay.
Doesn't matter who you are. And let's say if you want to write nonfiction, if you know a lot about some topic, no problem. You can write it. You just have to do the work and do the research and actually find out how to write. If you don't know anything about writing, well, you have to do the work. It's kind of the same thing as, let's say, if you want to become a guitar player.
Yes.
Okay, so you want to play guitar. Well, music it doesn't matter if you're Mozart if you don't practice and you have no new songs, right? So it's all about putting in the hours and doing the work. It doesn't matter what people say about art or artists or writing or whatever. It's 90% work and 10% talent. I mean, think about it. If you sit down every day for a year and write, you're going to be good at it.
Yes, you will be.
Yep. If you want to be good at driving, if you drive on a race car track every day for a year, you're going to evolve.
You're good at it.
Improve, right?
Yeah.
So that I really believe in that. And so, yes, of course you can be a writer. Yes. You just have to figure out what to write. Now, if you want to write a biography, it helps if you have lived a colorful life, if you have something to write about, and that's the most important thing. Yeah. If you have something to write about, like Philly said earlier, when we started the
live,
started our live, is that Philly said something really beautiful and about this, and it's he said that the first book kind of wrote itself because he did the seafood industry, he knew it inside out.
I knew it in and out.
And everything came to him, and probably characters, the smell of the dock, what like fish smell like, everything,
You can
See,
remember that,
he knows it. He knows the material to the bone, and that's what you need to do. Like, for instance, when I write The Feeder and Alien and AI and all of this stuff, I live in Brazil. Some parts of the books are from Brazil. Other parts of the books are, let's say, from France or places I've been that I know what it smells like. I know what it looks like. I know what the people are wearing. Right. I know what the wine tastes like there. I know what the service is like. All of these details, you have to kind of take them and keep them, and remember it. And when you remember it, then you can use them and unleash it at the correct time when you want to write.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100%. Yeah, so it's just like keep practicing. Because somebody even told me that I wasn't a writer. They told me I wasn't a writer, that Amazon wasn't a major publishing clearinghouse. All that talk. What publishing clearinghouse and all that. And I was like, it is a publishing house, you know what I mean? And you, like you say, and somebody say at 71 said, so you just keep practicing. Yeah, like you said, you just keep practicing. Like JFK said, you just keep practicing. You're going to get better at it. In the beginning, you're not going to be good at it, but then you'll find your way and get better at it.
Yeah. And it's like, how do you think Michael Jordan got so good at basketball? Practice. Yes, he's a he's special though. But still,
he practiced.
I don't think there was anyone on earth that probably practiced as much as Michael Jordan. Yeah. So Magic Jordan. So there is a reason why he was that good. His level of excellence. Or take Jimi Hendrix for that matter. Take whoever. Same thing. You have to just do the work. And that means, if it means staying up all night because you're trying to figure out something, then you do it. And then you take the punishment the day after. And, you just have to do the work. That's the way it is. Anything in life, anything. Want to be rich? The same thing,
Put the work in.
Seriously. By the way, I'm switching the topic a little bit.
No problem.
Just a little bit. I just wanted to congratulate you, Philly, because Willie Barker set me on the track. I heard some shit went down in Alabama.
Okay, yeah. It did, yeah. It
So I
did.
just want to congratulate you on that. I don't know if it's politically correct or not to get like a shirt with a chair on it, but if it is, I'm getting one.
You're gonna get one. People been doing it. NYC King said, good to hear that you in NYC. Yeah. NYC King, I was just in New York, man. I'm in Philly. I'll be back in New York in a couple days, man. I'll be back up in NY in a couple days, in Queens, my second favorite borough. Brooklyn is my first. Talking trash with the guys from New York, man. Shout out to you, NYC King. Yeah, I'm gonna get me a white chair. Let me see. Let's get it. White chair chain around my neck. Yeah,
I watched that video and just like bam,
bam, bam, bam. Yeah, it's a wild day, man. U.S. We still have a lot of we got a lot of stuff we got to work on. We got a lot of stuff to work on in the U.S. It's still in 2023. We still got a lot of stuff to be working on.
Just a win for once that the police didn't go crazy on black people, but instead actually arrested like the white people.
The white people at this time, right? But you know what really helped out a lot now? What help out a lot now in this day and time is these phones, these cell phones. Everybody have them with cameras on there. 20 years ago, it probably have been his word over my word, or his word, or whoever they assume word over whoever word on it. But now with these cameras, the cameras don't take sides. It just records what's in front of it. Whatever's in front of that camera, that's what it's going to record. It ain't going to take sides or say right or wrong. Yeah. So that's saving a lot of situations in the United States has been saved now because of these camera phones.
Yeah, indeed. And I'm just shooting out this because my woman is black.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
And my daughter is mixed.
Yes.
And we live in Brazil. And Brazil is
I know it is. I tell people that all the time. When they ask me the only thing that I have a problem with Brazil, I say the racism. That's what I tell them. I say the racism, the only thing I have a problem with. After that, Brazil is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country after that. But the racism is a big problem there.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm not going to get all too deep into that. I'm white after all. But I just want to do a shout out, give you the win. I'm aware of that's a
situation. Yes.
It's a song written by John Coltrane. It's called Alabama.
Yeah.
I listened to when I was like 19 years old. So I'm just saying, there you go.
Yeah, that's
finally some humanity.
Yes.
I think that's important.
Right about that.
Indeed. So yeah.
Hold on one second. NYC King, man. Just hit me up on Instagram when I'm up there, man. We'll link up. I'm in Queens. I'll be in Astoria, Queens. Just link up with me, man. My boy Tone came to see me, and some other people came to see me while I was there. So cool. I'll be in Astoria, Queens. Just link up with me, man. We go out, get something to eat, do something,
All right. I wanted to ask you guys a question.
Yes, ask them anything.
Also, because I haven't been to America, but I'm going in November, and we're gonna stay in really big Airbnb in New Jersey. We have a Brazilian family there, so on, so on, so on.
Okay.
But I wanted to know if I want to see a really good jazz concert in New York, where should I go?
NYC King, that's a question for you. Where should he see a good jazz show or concert in New York, or the jazz clubs or bars or lounges? Where should he go? Because he's a musician, so he's big on that. Oh, yeah. So where should he go? We'll give you a couple seconds, man. I know you're watching, so we'll give you guys a couple seconds to answer that question. Yeah. Jazz, bar, lounge, concert place. Where's good jazz at in NYC, in New York City? Let them know. Oh, they're gonna check. They're gonna check now. Give us an answer, somebody. Anybody can answer. I know a couple of you guys. Even if you ain't from New York City, you've been there plenty of times, so where would you go to get some smooth, cool jazz in the big? They call it the Big Apple. The Big Apple.
Yeah.
Forward you go.
Yeah.
Let's see what they say. Let's see what they say. Dun, 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 dun.
Anyway, while
Nobody
we're
answering
waiting,
yet. Yeah, I can ask you some more questions till one of them get back. Probably delay with the typing.
no problem.
What do
Anyway,
you want the readers? This is another question I have for you that I think is important that everybody wants to know because you write books. What do you want the readers to take away from your book?
yeah, good.
After they read it, what do you want them to take away?
I want them to just like disappear into a different place, basically. Of course, especially with the new audiobook out from the first book. I've been told that when they, friends, people have already gotten the audiobook, they go like, wow, I just disappeared. I'm listening to this stuff. Shout out to my friend Marius Hormeston in Norway.
Okay.
I just shipped it over to him, and he's been listening to the audiobook. He works in the kindergarten. He bicycles to work. And he's been listening to this, and he's just been laughing his ass off. So the point is to just disappear from everyday life, right? It's your moment, your personal space, your personal moment. Just like listen to it, have some fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. Of course, some of it is spooky. The feeder is a lot of things, my books, but it's more about I'm trying to write, something that is a little bit more out there, but still like in the equivalent of the books that I read when I was, when I looked at my parents' bookshelf and I don't know, read some Harold Robbins or some Wilbur Smith or whatever, and I just disappeared, I could like sit and read like an entire day, no problem. Just my mind, I disappeared somewhere else. It's kind of a free space because right now the world we live in is crazier than ever.
It is. 100%.
So that's what I want them to take away. Is just like enjoy it. Just have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. It's fiction, but it's fun.
Makes a lot of sense. Make a lot of sense what you're saying.
That's good.
All right. So we got a list here. They sent me a list. They said the Jazz Standard. The Jazz Standard. Can you remember these names? The Jazz Standard. Matter of fact, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, you have to send that to me. I won't remember all of this, but
I will WhatsApp it to you. The list.
Yeah, do that. That would be really cool.
Yeah, they sent it. He sent it. Wow. These guys be on point. They sent it. Oh, wow. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
A lot of them. He sent like 20 of them. Wow. The 20 top spots. So you can just Google them. And I guess you pick the one. You'll feel the one that's, your style and what you like. You know what I mean?
Guys.
It's a lot of them.
You rock. Thank you so much. There we go. The Jazz Standard, Smoke, Village Vanguard, Birdland, Charlie Parker. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Really,
they had to send it to the WhatsApp because it would have been too much to send on the live. Okay, wow. That's cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Wow. That was good.
That was great. I have to say your community is just like great, man. They're really cool.
They were on point with it. That's really all right.
So that's why I'm going to give you guys a free audiobook of The Feeder. Now, if you want this audiobook, all you have to do is go to Facebook, search Feeder Books, go into that page, and then you will find a post. And then you just write under that post. It's all explained. You just write, I want it.
Okay.
Then I'll get to it after this live streaming, and you'll get it in the messenger.
Okay.
I'll send it to you directly. Now this is not like I'm going to add you as a friend or any nonsense like this. You just go to Feeder Books. If you give it a like, I love that. But Feeder Books in Facebook. There's a post there. Just write underneath in the comment section in the post, I want the book.
And you got the book for free.
You got the audiobook for free.
Yeah.
That means that you take that code, if you follow that link, then you go straight into Audible, and then you have it. Simple as that. Then you can listen to the feeder. So I hope you like it. So that's cool.
And put it in the put it in send it to me via WhatsApp so I can put it in the description section of this video so they can have it right there too. Yeah, they asking right now. They said feeder books. They're asking right now. Feeder books. Somebody said. Also, they said go to New Orleans if you want real jazz.
I've heard that. My brother lived there for almost 2 years, and he was raving about the jazz there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And they said, yeah, somebody said feeder book. 71 said feeder books. Question. Maybe you can send me the link. Send me the link now. If you send me the link, send it to my WhatsApp, and I'll copy and paste it, and I'll put it in the I'll put it in the chat for them because they asking. Hold on, I'm gonna put it in the chat. We're gonna put the link in the chat. Yeah, he's gonna WhatsApp it to me, and then I'll put it in the chat for you guys.
Yeah, I'll just take a picture of it and just send it to you, Philip, because then you see it. Oh, hold on, I can just find the link for God's sake.
Yeah, find the link. Just find the link because I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Yeah, give me a second.
We got Ghana watching. Somebody watching from Ghana. Hello, everyone. That's Ghana, cool. How you doing, man? We got Ghana watching for sure. 100%. We got Ghana watching.
Indeed. So
yeah, somebody said they just found you, but still put the link in there. 71 said, yeah, I just found him.
Boom. There you go. Now, the reason why I asked for this is that the Facebook page is completely new.
Okay.
So it needs a little bit of a oomph, you know.
Yeah, we understand.
I sent you the feeder book link now. So now you got it on WhatsApp, Philly, so you can post it. I'll send some more links so they understand what they're getting. I'll send that.
There's the link right here. I'm giving it to him.
Like so.
Okay. Somebody found you, but I'll give the rest of them the link.
That's cool. Now I'm sending you a picture.
Okay.
From Amazon, so they can actually see what it looks like in Amazon. So now you got that, so you can post that perhaps straight in the chat, so they all see it. So that's the audiobook in the Amazon that I just sent you there.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I can. I don't think they'll let me post it on the chat. YouTube won't let me do that. But,
okay. But I'll find the link. Right?
If you find a link, I can put the link in there. Yeah, they said I'm sending the link out now to them.
No problem. Let's see. So here's the link to that. Here's the link to the Amazon page. So that's that. I'll also include my website, because if you guys are after you have listened to some of this and you go like, God damn, that was some crazy shit. And you might like some side stories, you know, that are not released or anything. Now that you're going to get through my website, which is feederbooks.com. So I'll send that to Philly as well.
All right, I'm sending it all in there in the chat. So the ones that want it will get it. They'll definitely get it. That's
cool. So here we go. And here you got the feeder books as well.
Diego, what's going on with you, Diego? What's going on? There we go. He said Brazil. Rafael Diego. And he just got Brazil.
It will be Rafael Diego.
Diego, yeah, Diego.
Tudo bem, amigo.
Tudo bem.
Now, I'm going to shoot in something extra, Philip.
No problem.
There might be people watching that are not in the UK or the US.
Yeah, we got people watching from Ghana,
Yeah.
Ghana,
So,
Africa.
for
Yeah.
instance, this guy in Ghana, Mr. Rafael, if
Mhm.
you go into feederbooks.com, you will see that you can, if you enter your email there
Mhm.
in Feeder Books, you'll get the first 3 chapters for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
You hear that, guys?
We're giving it away now, and let's say that Mr. Rafael wants the entire audiobook. Well, just go to Feeder Books in Facebook too, and I'll just send you the entire audiobook on MP3 for free. Just like the other guys, just write "I want it" in the post you'll find there. I'll send it to you on Messenger for free. It's going to be a download link, and then you can just download it straight to your phone. There you go.
That's easy. That's easy peasy, we call it. Easy
Yeah.
peasy. 1, 2, 3.
And that applies for anyone else that's watching that is not in the US or the UK. Just go to Feeder Books on Facebook. The link that Philly probably has already given you. Go there and give it a like and write "I want it," and I'll give it to you. Doesn't matter where in the world you are, you'll get it for free.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a proper giveaway.
Yeah, that's a proper giveaway for them.
Indeed.
Wow. And then I'm gonna do a community post with you again, and you can put the link in the community post too as well.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
In the community post, then it's going to be that it's going to work this way. They just say that they want it. You let me know, and I'll just send them the MP3, the entire audiobook in MP3
Okay.
for free. Yeah, just let me know. No problem.
Wow. And we got Jock Wilkins in here. We got a YouTuber in here, Jock Wilkins, Young and Grown Entertainment. Shout out to Philly Dom. Shout out to JFK. Shout out to the chat. That's
Cool.
all right. He watching from Houston, Texas, where they rap a lot. Cool vibes, cool vibes.
That's cool.
There's a record label in Houston, Texas called Rap A Lot Records. So anytime somebody says they're from Houston, Texas, I say they from Rap A Lot Records.
Ah, see, it's like a huge community.
Yeah.
Ah, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. Any other? What else I want to tell you? Any last words? Anything else you want to tell them?
About anything that has to do with the audiobook giveaway?
Yeah, the book and the giveaway.
I'll just say it one more time to just like hammer it in, because these are busy days, and all of this stuff. So I'll just say it again. If you are in the UK or in the US, go to Feeder Books on Facebook. On the page, there is a post that I put there. Write in the comment section, "I want the book," or "I want it," or whatever. I'll send you a code on your messenger, and then you just click the link, and then basically you got the book, the audiobook.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, if you're not in the UK or the US, do it anyway, and I'll send you the book, the audiobook, on MP3 anyway, so you get it for free.
Wow.
All right. So that's again, it's a proper giveaway. I'm just giving it away because I just want people to listen to it. I'm writing another book, and I'm going to write another book and another book. So
and another book, and keep going on.
Yeah. So, but the audiobook is, I'm proud of it. I'm getting some really good feedback on it. Hell, I was even asked if I wanted to narrate like something else.
Wow. Oh, because your voice.
The guy that's, I guess, English is my second. Well, it's not my first language. Almost is getting there, but still Norwegian. So I think I take it as a huge compliment. So I'm telling you, the audiobook is, have a glass of wine and listen to it, or listen to it when you fall asleep or something. You just go like, God damn, and then you fall asleep. You wake up next morning. What was I listening to here? What? John Martin somewhere? What was that? Have some fun with it. So that's what I want to say. Just enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed.
Definitely.
So we're rocking now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I'll change the. Let's get into something a little bit serious, if that's all right
Yes,
with you.
please. Not a problem.
I see that beautiful picture of a photo of your mother, or a painting of your mother in the back there.
Yes.
Can you give me? I just wondered, what is the story of your family, and I see on your hat it says Philly Dom. Means Philadelphia. I'm against Philadelphia.
Philadelphia guy.
Shit
That's
like
where
that.
I'm from. My mom.
But
Mom and them all them are from Philly. She's a school teacher. It's a sensitive topic, so you don't like to talk about it as much. She was a school teacher. She taught in the Philadelphia public school system for like 15 to 20 years, around like 20 years. And
respect.
yeah, she passed away in the late 90s, 1998.
Right.
Where it's a disease called psychodosis. I don't know if you heard of it. Psychodosis.
No,
It's common in
probably
it's common in the Black community, but I mean everybody gets it, but it's big in the Black community, called psychodosis.
Okay.
And she was just a good lady, man, a real good lady, man. You can't say that. Some people say people were good, or good-hearted, or a good person, but she truly was a good person.
Yeah, man. It's and your grandmother and your grandfather were also Philly.
Yeah.
From Philly, or like generations in
Philly,
Philadelphia?
Some generations in Philly, some
Together.
generations from the West Indies.
Together.
Now it's breaking up. What's going on? It's breaking up. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for it to stabilize. It's like it's like I tell my wife, Brazilian sister. But now you seem solid. You heard what I said, like Brazilian systems.
Yeah.
They work and they don't work. Well, it's Brazil.
71 said JFK. Thanks, JFK. And then Philly said, "What's up, family?" Absolutely X said, "What's up, family?" Okay. Yeah, it's just a little touchy issue. That's all. I just tell people, if they, if their moms are still breathing, if their mom is still alive, make sure they call them and tell them they love them, and because you don't. It's an old cliche saying, you don't miss something till it's gone. When the person is there, sometimes we might take advantage, or we don't appreciate them like we should. And then when they pass away, people go to people's funeral and say all these big things about them. But what about when they was alive? Like, it's called giving their flowers while they're alive. So I said, your dad, your mom, your grandparents, brothers, sisters, cousins, whoever, make sure you appreciate them now. You shouldn't have to, when they laid out, say good stuff about them. You should always take the time to say good stuff about them when they right there in your face and they breathing and well.
Yeah, and that's some wise words. I'll shoot in something. Both my parents are alive.
Okay.
But of course, I live in Brazil, so I
see them. Oh, your parents live in Brazil too?
No.
Oh, they live in. They in Norway. They're in Norway, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, it's they're both now. My father is in his 70s. My mother is just turning 70 this month, actually. Okay. But of course, I won't be there. So that's life is all about choices, and sometimes choices that aren't necessarily the easiest. So in this aspect, yes, I'm lucky that both of my parents are alive. Mm-hmm. But of course, I don't get to see them as much as I should. But however, I have my parents-in-law here in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, Jorge Rocha and Geisa Rocha. They are fantastic, so they kind of got my back,
Okay.
So that's good,
That's good.
Yeah. So, but it's a touchy issue. But I was more thinking about your lineage.
Yeah.
Or your entire family was like through Philadelphia, or like
The
But if you don't want to,
Caribbean.
it's fine.
Yeah, this is like the Caribbean. They from the Caribbean. I have family from the Caribbean too, as
All right.
well. Yeah.
I'll shoot in something cool though. Are you aware of? This is because I'm going to. Yes, I'm going to Jamaica in November. Where I'm
Okay.
also, New York in
Yeah, I've been to
November.
Jamaica. I've been both of them places a lot of times. New York and Jamaica. What you want to know? I can tell you anything I
No.
know about both places that can help you.
Yes, I'll just shoot in. Did you know that Bob Marley
Uh-huh.
worked at a car factory in Detroit at some point, and grew a pretty large, what should we say, stuff in his backyard
While he
there.
was working in Detroit, Michigan. Oh wow.
No, because Bob Marley's mother
Uh-huh.
lived there.
Wow.
She went there. So Bob Marley, you can Google it. So he lived there for I
That's
think a year.
exclusive information. Yeah. So he lived in Detroit. He lived in Detroit, Michigan. Bob Marley. Get that out of here.
He was
Wow.
in the car. He lived there, and then of course he was growing his plants and making his music before he returned to Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
Now that's some
Wow.
determination for
Yeah,
you,
that's some definitely history that nobody really talks about, but I know it's true. Wow. Wow. I didn't know he lived in Michigan for a little
Yeah,
bit, state of
I
Michigan.
think I think it is I think it is in Ziggy's last Bob Marley documentary, if I'm not mistaken. But it's
Okay.
there. So it's like, yeah, I'll do all this work in Jamaica, but I'll just take like a year or two off and go to like Detroit and work there and grow my plants in the backyard, and then I'll go back.
Yeah, go back to Jamaica. Wow.
Go back to Jamaica. But okay, let's get into Jamaica, man. You've been to Jamaica, right?
Yes, I've been there plenty of times. Yes.
Okay, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Definitely the food is good. Obviously, the
Yeah.
weather is good most of the year, because it's a tropical place, the Caribbean. The
What would
water
it be
is
like?
beautiful.
Sorry to interrupt you. What would it be like in, let's say, November then? The temperature.
Oh, it'll be hot. It'll be hot. It'll be hot. It'll be like
Yeah.
in the 80s. Like in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It'll be
That's
hot.
good. Yeah, it's more or less same as here in Brazil. So
Yeah. The beaches
I'll
to
just
me, they're probably in Jamaica. The water is a lot more prettier than the water in Brazil. But I've been to places
yeah.
like Salvador Bahia and places like that, like off the
Yes.
coast and different. Their water was nice and beautiful as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll see it. And then it's just a relaxed environment in Jamaica with the music, because everything is centered around the reggae music.
Yeah.
The marijuana vibes, and it's just the type of country it is. So you'll have a
Yeah.
good, chill, relaxed time. You're probably gonna be on some nice resort, staying at some nice
Yeah.
resort. So you're gonna have a good, amazing time there. And the food is good. You won't have no problems there. Only thing I would say, sometimes the customer service is a little off. Sometime in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what? That's not a big
yeah,
deal.
yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I
But the
wish
vibe.
I wish I had friends in high places. I know that Keith Richards
Uh-huh.
have had a house in Jamaica for like what 30 years or something, or
Oh wow.
So that would
Uh-huh.
yeah, just
That's
dreaming now. But of course it's old. But a lot of people have houses in Jamaica and all of this. It's like kind of a little dream of my wife and me to like someday just have like have a house there.
house in
Build a
Jamaica.
house.
Yeah, you should get one there. You should get one. You don't like it. Once you guys go there, that's your first time going there. You'll definitely fall in love with the country, and you'll definitely come back over and over and over and over and over and over again. So yeah,
Yeah. By the
that's
way,
one thing about traveling. Once you go once, you keep coming to that place. If you like that place, the
yeah.
initial trip is the hardest one, and then once you go there, you'll come back again.
Yeah. Did you get out on the ocean in Jamaica?
No, I didn't. I just stayed at the beach. Didn't get out
Yeah.
on the ocean. Yeah.
I have a feeling that if you do that, you might die, but it might be cool and get like some local fisherman dude and go out fishing. do something crazy. Perhaps that's a little bit too advanced, but
Now I
you
will.
get what
I'm a lot older now. I would do it now. But then,
yeah,
if I was younger, just in my 20s, so you more like about partying and hanging out. You wasn't really
yeah,
thinking about like the ocean, like the, what I mean? Besides going to the beach, you wasn't really thinking about going out.
no, I get it.
Yeah.
No, it's man. I have to say, man, what's your? How long did you travel in Brazil?
Like almost a year. I was there almost a
Yeah,
year.
that's
Yeah,
feeling
like
I
10
got.
and a half, 11 months. I was there for a long time. At least 10 months, 10 and a half months.
What do you take away from your experiences in Brazil? Because you're American, and of
Yeah.
course, so it's very different in a lot of ways.
I mean, I like the culture. It's more laid back. It's more stress free. The U.S. is really stress free, really
Yeah,
structured. I mean, see, Brazil is structured too as well. Especially places like Sao Paulo, where you at, they're real structured too. But the people seem like they live life a lot more. That's the big problem
hmm,
with America. You can make money here, you can live good here, but people are always stressed out. Nobody's having fun. Everything is too
exactly.
serious. Everything is too serious. You could drop tomorrow and have a heart attack. You could drop
Yeah,
tomorrow and get in a plane crash. You could drop tomorrow, get in a car accident. They make everything too serious.
you
That's
got
the
it.
problem about the.
You
That's the
got it.
problem about the with the U.S. Everything is just too serious to the point that
Yeah,
people don't even live life. They just work for corporations. They do business. They do work. They might have a nice house. They might have a nice car, but they don't live. They don't. A lot of people in America don't. In the U.S. don't know what living life is. They think they do. They don't.
yeah, exactly. And
They just
I
work
mean,
and die.
I just love that you didn't just like travel around to tourist places.
Yeah. No, I
You
went
really
everywhere.
you
Everywhere.
really traveled dangerous places in Brazil. The nightlife, everything. Rio de Janeiro, you did
Yeah.
it all. I
Yeah.
really, really,
Fortaleza,
I
Salvador
just,
Bahia,
yeah,
Recife, uh,
yeah, it's,
Minas
uh,
Gerais. I was moving. I
yeah,
was moving through there. I was going to a lot of places, and I
man,
sat in them places for a while. So I got a feel. You got a lot of people from the States. They think traveling is going to a resort and staying somewhere for 2 weeks. That's not
yeah,
traveling. That's not. That's a
yeah,
little vacation. You
it's
don't
not,
know, and usually when you go to the resorts and stuff, they hide you. They hide everything from the country, so you don't really know what the country's about. Like I know Brazil. I've been to their malls, their movie theaters, their beaches,
yeah,
their ghettos, their nice neighborhoods. I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere.
yeah. But
Local
isn't it
beaches,
strange how
tourist
isn't it
beaches. Yeah.
strange how the Brazilian culture kind of absorbs you? I mean, I lived there more than 2 years now, and
It does.
when I moved here, I was like, no sauce.
Mm.
What the fuck? No
Yeah.
sauce to the food.
Yeah,
Farofa. I was
they
like,
do stuff
desert
different.
man, what
They
is
do
all of
stuff
this shit?
totally. They do stuff
But
totally. They do stuff totally different than how we do it, especially
yeah,
in the
but then
states.
2 years later, man, I catch myself telling my wife sometimes, it's just like, should we just have like some classic Brazilian food, some barbecue and some farofa and some beans? That would be
Yeah,
nice. I need the energy, because
you got to.
of course, you have to
Yeah,
remember here, blazing hot most of the time. So you have to really eat like proteins and stuff that keeps you going. I mean, if you go to the beach here and it's like 40 degrees, or more than that, you have to drink your water. You have to really grub in.
yeah,
Can't have like 3 slices of loaf and some shitty vegetables and that's it. And you're going out in the blazing sun. Mm-mm. So it's it just engulfs you. I have to say, man.
yeah.
I just really love it here, and it's just a culture of its own. It's I know you know what I'm talking about. It's different. And of course, you have also been to a samba,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, I've been to some. Oh man.
And when they put up like I don't know, 100 of those guys with drums, all rhythm section instruments, known to man, and just like hammer that beat into Jesus. And that
Yeah.
every year, all aspects of the society, everyone has a job basically to just like boom the next samba. Oof. And of course, Carnival.
Oh, yeah, Brazil is a special place. They don't know. I'll be telling you, it's like layers to Brazil. Like it's layers to Brazil. I'm looking at some of these comments too.
Cool.
I'll go from usually I start from the top to the bottom. I'll go for the bottom. Rich is just talking about living in complete debt. He's talking about people in the States living in complete debt. They got 30-year mortgage, 6-year car note. They just going through a lot. He said he used to call it debt slavery in the United States of America. But people don't know the difference because that's what they was born into. A lot of them don't really travel to other countries. A lot of Americans don't really travel nowhere. So they don't really know. And they listen to whatever the news tell them, man. It's dangerous. The U.S. is dangerous like anywhere else.
Yeah. I need to pee a little bit more. But preach what you were going on there, because I'll get back to that. I think that's really interesting. Cool?
Okay, no problem. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Take your time. Do what you got to do. I understand.
Okay. Cool. I'll be back.
Yeah, X said Bob grew weed. I can't believe that in Detroit. I'm gonna definitely look that up. But he gave a real historical fact that nobody knew. And then Marco said, "Yo, Philly, what's going on, Marco?" And then Buck said, "Hey, Dad, what's going on, man? All is well. All is well." Let me check some of these messages.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 71 said they need Bob Marley edit Bob Detroit car edition. Bob Marley edition Detroit car.
Yeah.
He's saying they should make a do a car with the Bob Marley logo all over the car in Detroit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Each one, that's an X said each one to teach one. Yeah, but I ain't gonna go too long with this live. I got some other stuff I got to do. They texting me like crazy.
Yeah, I got it. But
because I got my son here with me. Yeah, I got my son here with me, so that's the problem. He said with his grandpa right now, but I know his grandpa got to go somewhere soon, so I got to go over there and see. Go upstairs and see what he's doing.
But that's cool, man. But anyway, I just wanted to thank you for having me on your excellent live stream. I have to say, it's been a blast. Your community is so open, so cool, and I really loved it. You know, second time I'm on now, and I just enjoy it a lot.
All right.
And I want to say, guys, strange times we live in. Strange times. But
strange times. And if you want, we can probably do another live next week to keep helping you promote the book. That works too. If you want to do another one next week, that'll help.
Why not? I'm all for it. All for it. I love that.
Multiple lives, because some people be working, some people, I don't know, doing different things, so they don't always see the lives at the right time. But if you do multiple lives, then it helps out.
That's cool. We can hammer it out, make a plan. No problem.
Yeah.
All the links and everything that's needed. If it's more is needed, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send me everything, like the links to my WhatsApp. Put it all together, and then I'm gonna put it in the description section of the video.
No problem. And I just want to say, I'm going to buy both of your books. Also,
thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Next step is to get you hooked up with audiobooks.
Yeah, I need an audiobook. I just didn't have the time. Like these last couple months, everything went so fast. But now I'm like, leveling out so I can get everything done. But yeah, you send me the information to do it. I just didn't have time to sit down and
No,
do
no.
it. Yeah,
We can get into it later, man. But
indeed.
then I'll just wrap it up from here, and I hope you guys had a good time. I
And we're
hope
gonna do one next week. Definitely, we'll do another one next week. Definitely.
that will do. Okay.
All right, Lee Ann Garrett said hi. Philly, great live today. Cool vibes.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Great.